Hello, welcome back to the Starlake Observatory. My name is Trip Starlake, and I'm here with the VTuber Book Club. I'm calling it that now.
Yeah, we're the biggest
Welcome
VTuber
back.
book club in the world.
Yeah, we're the biggest VTuber book club in the
Stamp it,
world.
patent it, boom.
Subscribe.
Yeah, hit subscribe. Toto, thank you very much for the gift sub to Ariel.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Enjoy your emotes. Yeah, real book hours. We are here today to discuss The Space Between Worlds. Before I talk about the plot of that, I'm here with Dr. Toto Hex, Realm, and Faye. And I guess a silly... I kept thinking of this awful question, and I couldn't get it out of my head, so you can judge me, but it's okay. But, like, say there were 500 multiverses. How many of the U's on those multiverses do you think would be, like, living the life? Living a good life? Because I was like...
Statistically, one.
Yeah, I was like, maybe, like, 10.
Yeah.
Now I have to.
But the good
I'll
life, I
answer
mean,
it
like
with.
like Kim Kardashian, like rich lady life.
I have to like. Is it their world that we're trying this out in, or is it our world that we're doing this multiverse in? Because those are different answers.
Don't get picky.
It's
Our
one or
world.
the other.
Our world.
Our world. All right. I think I have like. I'm gonna say 15% would be
Okay.
living the life.
I think you have to say percentage, right? Because
Yeah,
infinity is a
percentage.
big number of multiverses.
Well, I said out of 500.
Out of 500.
But
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be although it is infinite, we cannot access all of them. So
At
I
least in
think
this
we are
thing,
limited
yeah.
in some way. So
Yeah,
I
'cause,
think
like...
in
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just thinking it's like just like a bunch of cereal in like a big bowl. You know, I'm just thinking that we're all just kind of like hanging out in different places. Like
I don't want to be cereal. I don't want to be melted.
some say crispy
I
in
want to
the
live...
milk, and some just kind of sog. So I'm just gonna
I
say like
don't want to be in the melting pot.
I'm gonna say 1 out of every 5 would probably be fair enough. I would be, and then like
Okay, alright.
within them, yeah.
I think maybe like 25% for me,
25%?
maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like in some multiverses, I wouldn't have realized that I was trans, and then that might have made my life easier, but I wouldn't really be myself, so that's weird
Right.
to think about.
Well, yeah, I mean, they kind of covered that in the book, too. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, maybe like 15 worlds out of 500, because I think I'd just be like normal middle class in most of them. But then I thought, I want to just live in the world where I'm like a house cat. I could just sleep all day.
Oh no, actually,
That is true.
take mine down a little bit because thinking about like how the characters like parents are also different in the multiverses. Like
Yeah, it
my
always
parents
depends.
like also had like a very high chance of like not being successful. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So you never know. It's interesting. So, in the melting pot, as we were discussing, I guess The Space Between Worlds, I guess to give context, The Space Between Worlds is a debut science fiction novel by Micaiah that we read. It's like an Afrofuturism dystopian narrative that follows Kara, an impoverished woman who travels between parallel universes on behalf of a powerful exploitative corporation. And while Kara navigates the stresses and dangers of traveling these multiple worlds, she uncovers a conspiracy that forces her to confront her past and challenge the power structures of her world. And that's the blurb. So if you want to go read the book, and then watch this later on YouTube. And if you like watching the VOD on YouTube, you should subscribe and like the video. I remembered to say it early because I wrote it in my notes. But yeah, that's the premise of the book. So I guess my opening question, I don't know, is what'd you think?
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is probably the darkest book I've picked, in terms of like content, but I don't know.
I think it did a good job because one thing I like with like multi-dimensional travel is when you get to explore character relationships with each other. She didn't actually go to that many worlds.
No.
She only really flipped between like two.
Yeah.
Um, but you get to see like a lot of like the relationships and
And
how
how
her
they change are
relationships
different. Yeah.
change. Yeah, depending on how they
I
are.
liked that. I
But
liked
I
that.
also feel like it was really confusing at times because they
Yeah.
wanted to tell such a big story and say so much.
I know.
It was confusing.
It
I
does.
did like.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think
I,
How to Lose a Time War prepared us to be a little less confused than whatever that was. So maybe it's also because I often like to think about this type of stuff. So it really wasn't too bad. You just like, a lot of times when they make these type of stories, it's prefaced on a concept that has a name, but not a lot of people really get it. So like if you know what it is, it makes a lot of books, like horror tropes or psychology tropes or like
Mm-hmm.
I said, like space concept tropes. If you don't know what they are, you're like, all right, I'm confused. What the hell is going on? But if you know, you're like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like maybe a little bit of know-how into theory would go a long way. But it's not everybody's, oh, I'm gonna pick up a book on, theoretical astrophysics or something like that. It's just kind of plopped in your way, and thankfully, you guys said it could be confusing, but you weren't lost.
Right.
I hope anyway.
Mm.
Yeah. I
I think
also.
Faye had
Oh, sorry.
something to say
Go.
first.
Oh yeah, Faye.
um,
Thank you.
um, I was obsessed with my broccoli for a second. I liked that the plot points or like the surprises, you got a hint of like what was gonna happen. To a degree that you had an idea, but it was still like fun and interesting, and I wasn't bored by it. That was it.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is How You Lose a Time War is about like multiverses and different points in time and stuff like that. But I think this book kind of takes it a step farther because like the reason why the main character has the job she has and why the story even exists is because like she has the quotation mark privilege to world hop because most of you can only travel to another world if your self is dead on that other world, and most of her selves are dead on the other worlds because of
What a privilege.
yeah.
In
What a
Minecraft, so we
privilege.
don't get demonetized.
Yes, in Minecraft. We're talking about a book.
Unalive.
We're talking about a book, overlords. um but yeah, I mean, I think going a step further because it's kind of like a parallel to like systemic oppression and how like one thing can be viewed as like an advantage, but it's not really an advantage. If you really think about it.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
definitely like a lot of like discussion about classism that happens.
Yeah.
And I like it. I like that they tackle kind of both sides, how people like exploit her because she is suddenly useful to them because of this new technology.
Yeah.
But also how she like holds some own classist beliefs to how she thinks like, oh, all of the like rich people must all think of me this way when not all of them do.
Yeah.
A lot of them do, but not all of them.
Yeah. Not all of them.
Right. It takes a lot of interesting concepts that by itself would normally be the main like answer to a book and then kind of like goes off with it. So like this literally is, oh, you now have multi-dimensional time travel. Like that would be the it for a lot of things. But then they're like, no, no, no. Now we're doing, now there's an interesting point to it. Oh, it's not this company's using this technology for XYZ reason. People feel this way about it. It's like, and then the whole classism thing. It's not
I
like
think,
the
yeah.
answer. It's just like a piece
Mm-hmm.
to push forward something else. So like it's nice, like you said, they're tackling a lot of things, and it's not very like in your face. It's more like, oh, these are the circumstances of a crazy kind of world, like, and they're kind of going about it the same way that you're like seeing how they do it.
Yeah, I think that that's what good sci-fi should be doing in the first place is
Mm-hmm.
like tackling a larger theme using what they had, right?
Yeah.
And
I
I think
agree.
where Time War kind of flubbed it up was yes, that they had a larger theme, of like love can exist anywhere, but they could have said it in different ways
Yeah.
and explored it in different ways. Whereas something like Memory Called Empire, they do a good job also
Yeah.
of tackling themes of like, you know, exploitation of a different culture and do that in an interesting way
Mhm.
with what they have.
It's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. These kind of have they're not like super similar, but they have that similarity at least. Like the colonialism eats everything it sees type of vibe. Oh my god. Sorry. I liked, yeah, they have that as a theme, like the Wiley City versus Ashtown was a big theme throughout it, like the class divisions, the very obvious segregation, and the systemic inequality. And then also names and renaming, because very quickly on we find out that this Kara that we know is not the Kara of the world that she like lives on. Because I don't know, this happened several times throughout this book. They keep sending Kara places where her other self is actually alive. So she has problems because of that. Like twice they do that. And
Yeah. And the first time, like our main world Kara dies,
Yeah.
and the like other universe's Kara comes back to
Yeah.
our world
She's
and
like,
pretends to be her.
okay, I'll take that life.
I
And
thought that
just
would
does
be
it.
like a big reveal or something, but that is actually like the end of mid of part one. They like reveal that to
Yeah.
us, and we're like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's pretty early on.
yeah.
And then it's kind of revealed slowly that like everybody knew.
Yeah.
Everybody knew. They're like, yeah, because you weren't yourself.
You're like totally different.
Yeah, you're a totally different person.
Except for like her lesbian love interest, who was like, I don't understand why you were different.
I don't understand why you're giving me mixed signals.
Like, oh, it's because I'm literally a different person.
Yeah.
I hate when my other dimensional Sapphic love interest is sometimes not herself.
Right.
Always awkward.
Right.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry.
Sometimes Toto likes me, and then sometimes Toto's just not herself.
It must be my alternate dimension self.
It's got,
Dr.
that's got to be it. I mean, that makes the most sense.
Right. I think it's kind of interesting in a sense because like not only Kara, she doesn't really know, like she has to like assume, she pretends to know, to be the person she's like people are expecting her to be, so she doesn't really know who she is. Like she's assuming an identity even though it's like herself, but it's not her. She also doesn't really have a place that she totally calls home anymore because she lives in Wiley. She works for Wiley City. She works for the company Wiley, but she's from Ashtown.
So, yeah, Wiley is like the rich area, right? But I think they call it the rurals, right?
The rurals is Ashtown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's like
I
the middle class part of Ashtown, I guess. Because like a girl, like they always kept saying, like a girl from the rurals wouldn't get it because there's parts of Ashtown, or maybe it's the lower levels of Wiley that are the rurals, but I don't know. That is one of the things. There's certain things that Carrot doesn't get into very well because she doesn't know.
Yeah, and I think that they do a good job of like not over explaining, but at some points it's like I wish you would explain that how this world works.
Just a
I don't know
little
if
bit
I
more.
missed it because
Yeah.
it's like kind of like Mad Maxy in that there's like runners and there's like no guns, and guns have like not existed for a long time.
Yeah, there's
Like a
just
post-apocalyptic area,
yeah. There's a lot
but
not
somehow
said.
there's now like a big city,
Yeah.
and they've invented like pods that can heal you and multidimensional travel or interdimensional travel, I should say.
Yeah, and everyone has like a cool like pit boy.
Oh yeah. They have
Yeah.
a communicator and stuff.
Yeah. But also like it feels like the way they describe it feels like Ashtown is like no man's land, but it's not because everyone still has their fancy cell phones and stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of don't like that the towns were named almost like Pokemon towns.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Ashtown feels like a Pokemon themed town.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
but Wiley doesn't.
Wiley City.
Yeah, Wiley City.
Wiley
City,
does.
you're right.
It does kinda.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was like, I kept reading it and I was like, this is too silly.
It is a little silly, but I think
And
it's
they all have their little Pokédexes.
yeah, they do. Because Wiley is also a company. It's kind of like they named their city like Amazon City.
Oh, okay. So it's like those towns that used to be created, and everyone in that town eventually worked for the corporation
Kinda.
Yeah, the
that
factory
managed
towns.
that block.
Yeah,
Okay.
more or
I think
less.
it
I can
might be
see that.
helpful for all the like listeners here to explain like Kara's history. I think that would like
Like
make
Esther, yeah.
yeah.
Because she
Or
worked.
no, just explain for the viewers who are watching us like how Kara like came to this company and everything. Like starting from like, oh, she was born and her mother was like a drug addict out in Ashtown
Mm-hmm.
who had died. But when she had dimensions, this new Kara, her mom is alive and had married like a preacher, and so she has like step siblings now,
Yeah.
including Esther and Michael, I
Yeah.
want to say is his
Michael.
name. Yeah.
He's like not
And
incredibly important.
yeah. And then after that, I believe she starts working for the Blood Emperor, Nick.
So this is so not clear because she like jumps perspectives all the time. So on the current World
Uh-huh.
0, where she works for Wiley, she never did that. But before she world hopped, she like was like married, and well, not married, but was in a
Yeah.
relationship and worked for the Blood Emperor.
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
his like concubine.
Yeah.
And she was like terribly abused by this guy.
Yeah.
But after she hopped worlds, like she just instead moved to the city and started working for this company.
Yeah.
And now the people in Ashtown don't really like it because they're like, oh, she works for like big corpo. But also like the people in the city don't like her because they're like, oh, she's from poor district area.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
She's too rich for Ashtown, too poor for Wiley City.
Mm.
Yeah.
She has like differing relationships with all these people.
Yeah.
But because she world hops, she knows like, oh, like alternate selves of me out of like the 300 worlds that are close enough to us that we can reach.
Yeah.
I'm like dead in like almost all of them, like 280 of them or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
almost
then,
all of them.
yeah. And then like she has also visited and seen alternate versions of herself, or not herself, but her like family.
Yeah.
So she knows like all the different things her mother can become, or Esther can become, or her love interest Dal can become.
Yeah.
And Jean, who is like kind of her mentor in the company.
Yeah. Yeah, and he helps Kara, or he's trying to help the current Kara become an analyst and get out of world hopping because it's dangerous.
And also, it's going to be like not really outsourced. It's just going to be like redundant or unnecessary when they find out a way to get information. They use her to world hop so she can get information from other worlds and bring it back.
Yeah.
And like just collect data basically. She doesn't analyze the data. She just like
Collects
brings it back
yeah.
for the actual scientists because the scientists can't travel because they're probably alive in the other world,
Yeah.
which means they would die. They would explode.
Yeah.
If they went through. So yeah, he's basically like make yourself like indispensable so that even when they figure out a technology that that gets rid of your position, you can still do stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which like is the goal, you know.
Yeah,
in
and then
any
Dell is
corporation.
the girl who like basically has her what would you call it? Agent.
Yeah,
Like
it's the
she's the
agent.
person who actually sends her into the other worlds.
Like handler.
Yeah,
Yeah,
handler.
handler.
There's
Yeah,
a
that's
word
the
for
word.
it, and I can't remember what they use in the book. But yeah.
Yeah.
Liaison.
Liaison. Yeah.
Yeah, but Kara wants Dell to handle her in other ways because
Yeah,
it's like really gay for her.
she does. But Della's like confused and like closed off the whole time.
Yeah, and there's this whole like toxic Yuri stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, she doesn't want me because I'm poor or I'm from a poor district, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And she's like, And then later you find out it's like, no, she doesn't want you because you guys like made out and then you gave her mixed signals where you said like, oh, this was a sin. And then you came back and were like in love with her again.
Yeah, and Kara's like, that wasn't me though.
What's alternate dimension me who died?
Yeah, I wasn't
It was really homophobic. I've never been homophobic.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so when
Very
I read,
convenient.
I'm actually glad I reread this book because what I recalled from the book was that Dell was quite not good at like expressing herself, and I was like, oh no, it's Kara was the problem. Oh, okay.
They were both the
They
problem.
both were, but I had totally forgotten that the previous Kara like was super homophobic, like had all the guilt and just made her feel awful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd totally forgotten. So apparently if you go to another town where your doppelganger exists, or another world where your doppelganger exists, you die instantly. But this has happened twice to Kara because, I think at the beginning of part 2, she world hops and then she starts to die because even though they said that herself was dead on that world, she wasn't. But she survives. And so on world 175, I think is what it is, she gets taken in by like the one world where her ex complicated relationship, sometimes partner, Nick is like a nice guy. And he like takes care of her and heals her up so she doesn't die. I think she's supposed to inject herself basically with poison to kill her while she gets brought back to the original world, but she didn't do that. So she survives. So clearly you can survive if you world hop. Your body's really gonna hate you.
Yeah, she ends up with all these scars and everything.
Yeah, her body is like has like all these striations all over it from it. Which I kind of liked that it felt like it was like a physical manifestation of just inevitably what happens when you're like living in a world that is like oppressive, but like going to another world is like literally oppressive on her. I don't know how to say it. So yeah, and then basically in world 175, she does meet her own self, but she can't look at her because she's gonna throw up, or they're both gonna throw up. And world whatever, the main character Kara gets brought into like a coup to take over the Blood Emperor in that world, who happens
who
to
is like Nick's brother.
Yeah, it was Nick's brother. Yeah,
who is like supposedly dead in her original Zero world.
Yeah, but he's not. He's not dead.
Yeah.
He's
Turns
Adam.
out he's the CEO of big
he's
company.
the CEO of the big company.
Big multi-dimensional travel company.
Yeah. But for some reason on this world, I guess because he becomes the Blood Emperor, he doesn't go and get an education and become a multimillionaire Jeff Bezos guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I heard like travel, like when I was reading it and like hearing a travel place, I'm like, oh damn, it takes like a futuristic society to have travel agencies thrive, because here they are.
Yeah.
Also, like Blood Emperor is only like the like leader of like the Ashland area, right?
Yeah.
Or am I...
Yeah, he doesn't have any power over Wiley. So he's just like, it's not really clear what you do as the Blood Emperor, just like rule over people. Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
You're just like a warlord.
You're just a warlord, yeah. And you like make people's lives difficult if you don't like them. It seems like, based on what's described by Kara. I'm way too far in my notes. Hold on. Da-na-na-na. Oh yeah, so basically, I think the whole plan works with Kara telling Del to call her back through like a radius pull, which in the end pulls back his name is Audra in this other world. Adam to kill him. But then, like, the other Kara, her name was Nalene in the other world, she, like, comes in and also tries to world hop, too. But both Adam and Nalene die in the hop. And so, poor Kara is just like, more people are dead. Ugh, it's weird.
Like, yeah, alternate me is dead again.
Again, like,
He
how
said
many
I
times do I
did
have
it.
to watch myself die?
Yeah, like the Triple Crown.
Yeah. Has to talk to a psychiatrist. Not that the psychiatrist can really help in this instance.
What do you do when you die?
Yeah, what do you do when you see yourself die? I don't know.
That's a good question.
Right? And then basically the second half of the book, I don't know if you felt this way. I kind of feel like that's like, yeah, I think that's like the 50% mark. I feel like the book kind of gets a bit slower because instead of like introducing us the world and how it works and everything, now it's like Kara figuring out how to do something about Adam, the CEO. She wants to kill him, but you can't just kill him because he's the only one that knows how to use the world traversing technology.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't feel slower to me, but that's probably because this is when I started reading on like double speed in the audiobook.
Oh no.
So I can't say much for that.
It also maybe felt that way for me because it's my second time reading the book, but so I don't know. I do think reading the book too, I also realized the author actually put a lot of like more scenes than I had remembered that show that Dell really does like Kara and is actually very kind to Kara, even if she's not very nice to her, like helping her with give a funeral to like her dead self in Ashtown, and Esther helps out too.
You know, it's just toxic, Yuri. It's just them being
toxic, Yuri.
tsundere.
Yeah, it's very tsundere. And yeah, Esther knows that Kara's not the original Kara. The CEO, Adam, he announces that, like, he's going to, like, open up world travel to, like, the highest bidders, or, like, tourist highest bidder people.
Before that, like, Jean
yeah.
starts, like, talking to Kara about, like, changing jobs and becoming an analyst.
right,
and she's
right.
like, what if I become, like, one of the maintenance people instead? I can't pass this freaking analyst test.
Yeah.
So he's like, no, you can't do maintenance. And you find out later that maintenance are the people who went and took out Adam's alternate selves in the other worlds so that they would never develop technology to, like, use it against them.
Yeah. So somehow this guy is, like, a capitalist, like, dude in, like, every world.
Or he just wanted to get rid of the risk.
Yeah.
So you find this out after, like, Kara comes back from World 175, and she had killed, like, the Blood Emperor there, who was also Adam.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, thank you for killing me. My
yeah.
alternate dimension self.
Oh, yeah, they like,
This is
meet
while
in
I
a
watch
garden.
it.
I forgot about that. Thank you for killing me.
Yeah, so, like, minions are all, like, interdimensional assassins for him, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we go back to them burying her alternate dimension self.
Oh, yeah.
With her sister, who in the alternate world was, like, a leader in the rebellion, and going to be wed to, like, the emperor, or was wed to the emperor.
Yeah.
And in this world, she's just a very like, devout Christian person, which is interesting that Christianity still exists in this world.
I know.
And Islam.
Yeah.
I think this is all very, like, you know, based in African culture, where you do have a lot of these religions.
So. Yeah, I think so too. I think that's the point, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
It's no. But yeah, even though she is, like, a good church girl, she still, like, stands up for herself. I like that this Kara is able to have, like, a very honest conversation with Esther, and she doesn't judge her for it. She just actually acts like a sibling, which is really nice. Because this entire time Kara's been telling us, like, I don't have a home, no one really gets me, I don't really know that, and she finally gets that connection.
Mhm.
So I like that, at least. Because I know that, I don't know. Some character growth can happen, I guess is what I mean to say.
But yeah, at least she wasn't very like, I don't know, just like the stubborn young protagonist.
No, yeah.
You know, that can get very irritating because you're like, they'll come back. Either they'll come back and it's like it's not too late, but you're like, damn, it took your time. Where they just stay arrogant. You're like, where is this confidence coming from?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because that's what I think. I think other versions of Kara are like that. I'm not like other girls type of person from the sound of it. And this Kara was not like that.
Yeah. Like Esther says, like, oh, I you're different right away because you're being nice to me. And the original, like, Kara from our universe was, like, never nice to me.
Yeah. Yeah, she like hated me, and you were like gave me a present when you saw me.
So I was like, you are definitely different.
Yeah.
You're not my original Dimension sister.
Yeah.
Or stepsister.
And it is funny because, like, how could Kara have ever known that? Like, she
yeah,
wouldn't have.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they just, like, all have been ignoring me, but it's because they knew that I was not from this dimension, huh?
They're just like, eh.
Not because they hated me or anything.
Right.
Because I was a stranger to them.
Yeah. They just didn't know you. And it probably is weird if you're like, oh, that's not my stepsister.
And my original stepsister is dead, which also, did her mom know? I feel like her mom probably knew, huh?
She probably knows, but she's so in the story so little. We just don't know.
Except... it's very cool. I've read so many it's so many like, you know, manga stories, you know, like I always say the transmigration, your reincarnation, stuff like that, where the person whose body they took over or they're going instead, she's a 180 and everyone's like, oh my god, you're for the better. No, someone's like, what's wrong with you? Legitimately, this is not who you are.
I do think that's a more realistic response, though.
Which is awesome. Very cool.
Wait, shit, is this an isekai story? Oh my god.
It kind of is, isn't it? Or like the transmigration, like you're saying.
Oh, shit, you're right.
Can't believe Trips tricked me into reading an isekai story. No!
I gotcha.
What's worse is you finished the story and didn't find out till now.
I know.
You've been bamboozled.
I want to be reincarnated into a me who knows that this is an isekai story.
Oh my god. I bet there's another you that knew already.
There's another you that refused to read it.
That's true.
I was like, no.
Then there's another you who liked it. And it's like, you know what? I'll read
There's a you
isekai
who
slop for the rest of my life.
Never! No!
Solo leveling is a 10 out of 10.
I don't know. I'm gonna say that.
I was like, that one needs to die.
Of the 500
It's going too far.
There's maybe one. I don't know. That's actually most of the story. The rest, I think, things kind of spiral out of control as Kara tries to figure out a way to take Adam down or get back at him, I guess, for everything that he's done. Unfortunately, Jean is a casualty in this plot because she uses his like access key to get information on Adam, but it just it backfires entirely, and Jean's like, well, I'm sorry?
It doesn't backfire entirely. It's more like Jean has been allowing her to use his access key to access the data.
Oh yeah,
because he wants her to study to become an analyst.
Yeah.
And then she even tells him, like, hey, I'm going to, like, basically whistleblow this whole thing and expose Adam for killing his alternate invention cells and committing, like, mass genocide. Is it genocide or suicide if it's yourself, huh? I don't know. But, yeah.
Let's just call it murder and move on.
Yeah. He's been murdering tons of people from other dimensions.
Yeah.
And, like, if you go with his plan to, like, have tours, that means every time someone tours, all their alternate dimension self has to be killed.
Right.
So yeah, she's gonna whistleblow that whole thing. And Jean's like, okay, I respect you for doing that, but you know that this will like destroy the entire company and they'll probably kill you. She's like, yeah, I know. So after she does that, Jean tells her, like, go take the exam anyway, so that she has like an alibi. He doesn't tell her that it'll be her alibi, but he's like, go take the exam anyway, just for funsies. She aces the exam, she comes out, and then Jean has turned himself in as the whistleblower, even
Yeah.
though she did it.
Yeah.
And just so he becomes like the fall guy for her and sacrifices himself. It's
Yeah.
not like the plan doesn't work. The plan works. It's just that
Yeah, I guess she didn't
he
want.
sacrificed himself
Yeah,
instead of her sacrificing
it's
herself.
true. She didn't want Jean to die,
Yeah.
but he did. It's too bad. And I think, I mean, there's a little bit of commentary there because he was like a child soldier. He like has regrets on having killed so many people when he was younger. But still, I think that's just additional commentary on the system is corrupt. But and showing it in that way of like he ended up being very successful because Jean had like a million grandchildren and everyone liked him, and even though he came from such a horrible background, you can grow into something completely new, but still the system of oppression that's still there that isn't going to treat him like he's a true Wileite is what they call him, right? Will still get him at some point. Even if it was kind of a self-sacrifice situation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Kara goes to the current Blood Emperor, Nick, to ask him for help. And he's violent and angry like he normally is, it seems. But he agrees to help Kara out with her plan to take down, but not kill, Adam, because, like, that's his brother. And, like, heck him for being, a super ultra billionaire guy.
Right. But in order to do that, she first goes to that other 175 dimension where she helped do that coup and murder their emperor. And she's like, hey, you guys have guns in this. You have gun in this world, right? And they're like, we have one gun. And she's like, all right, sweet. I'm taking that.
Thanks, nice
Bye.
Nick. Bye.
I can give this to your alternate dimension self who's evil.
I know.
So that he can take down the big CEO from me. Or I actually don't really understand what her plan was here to give this like lunatic a gun.
I guess it was I guess she didn't know what else would convince him to help her. I don't know. I'm not sure either, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have gun. Don't you want a gun? And he's like, okay.
Okay.
Basically. And yeah, I know that the nice Nick in that world, he like had destroyed all the other guns. So it was like the last gun. But oh well.
I feel like it's so
didn't happen
dangerous.
in
It
the
is
South.
not
It will
that
last
hard to reverse engineer a like 6-shooter pistol.
No. You can make a doohickey.
Yeah.
A
It's a
thingamajig.
huge risk.
Yeah. A thingamajig. Totally. I don't know, it works anyway. And I guess the point is that it doesn't have to be used for violence. It's just like a thing to give Nick. Because he'd like it, I guess. And he does, since he agrees to the plan. Yeah, so the plan is actually to destroy or disable the world traversing hatch thing. So he can't, Adam and nobody else can like world travel for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So to do that, I guess, I mean, totally correct me if I'm wrong, because I listened to this pretty fast. The Adam and not Adam, Nick and like the runners, which are like the soldiers for the Blood Emperor, go.
They're basically like think the people who drive the cars in Mad Max.
Yeah, basically those people.
Yeah.
And they all, regardless of gender, are called like Mr. something. Mr. Cheeks. Because I didn't realize that until there's a character named like Mr. Scales, but they're like, they have she, her pronouns. But yeah. Yeah, they like sneak into the Wily City. And they, oh my god, they do a whole thing. There's like one day where they have like a trial run and they get into Adam's house and they like intimidate him, right? I don't know. And Kara sees Dell and it's like, what are you doing in Adam's apartment? And she's like, well, all the elites were invited and I wasn't there to do anything. And then we find out that like Adam's been like asking for Kara's medical records like every like month or week for like ever, which is creepy. And that you have to have like a serum inserted into you, I guess, when you world traverse, and Adam made the special serum for Kara.
Sci-fi and serums.
Yeah.
Sci-fi is just really into like
They love serums.
doping people with shit.
Yeah, it's not sci-fi if you don't got some creepy serums.
It's not sci-fi if you're not putting like
Those are
liquefied
just
jello
sci-fi
in people's
potions.
veins.
Gosh.
Yeah, intravenous serums. I don't.
Get juiced.
Listen, fantasy has potions.
Yeah.
Sci-fi has serums. Okay,
You're
they're
right.
the same
You're right.
thing.
That's totally what
A
it
random
is.
chemical in your body.
Yeah, we don't know what it is. We just know that it's bad. Eventually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they do. We find out later why they were there the night before, but we don't find out immediately. But the whole other plan is to take. She goes. I don't even know. Maybe you can.
I
Tell
don't
me.
remember. I don't really remember. I was starting to cook curry at this point. I
Oh,
just
no,
know
it's
that she
okay.
had some like toxic lesbian drama with Adele, and they were like, "Oh, were you in his bedroom?" And she was like, "I wasn't. I was in his library." God.
Yeah, I just went to
care.
the library. Oh yeah, and then they're like, yeah, she says, like, why are you always on the 40th floor where I live? And Dell's like, because that's where you are.
I'm in love with you. Don't you get it?
Yeah, yeah, and then they confess and they have sex. It's fine now, I guess. It's not fine. And she Kara gives her like a part of her hair. I guess that's what you do if you're in lesbians with someone. And then she leaves.
Is that what I did wrong, Toto? I didn't give you a lock of my hair.
Yeah, I need like a primary source here. Can someone tell me? I'm straight and uncooked spaghetti. I can't confirm this.
I don't know if it's a lesbian thing because also like she saves one lock of hair for her
I know she saves it for her sister too.
Oh.
I think it's just like a she thinks she's gonna die thing. So that's why.
It's definitely an interesting death flag.
Yeah. She goes to the testing site for the analysts, I think, with two runners disguised as mechanics. But she gets whatever she's doing, she gets caught immediately and brought to Adam. Who's like, I knew you were gonna do all of this stuff, and I'm working with Nick on the side. Because I know everything and I'm one step ahead of you. But he went through the deal with Nick completely wrong, and it's like, no, Nick probably hates you now because you didn't go and talk to him. Actually, you just sent someone else to talk for you. And then Kara reveals that I put poison in your eye drops. And I guess Adam's going to turn into I don't know, plaster, white plaster in a period of years. But Adam's like, I put shit in your veins too. And then Kara gets evicted out of Wiley City and goes back to Ashtown. And honestly, the story just ends with Kara kind of accepting that and chilling, living a very calm life.
Love the way you said
What?
you're so villainous, and you said, "I put shit in your veins."
I mean, that's what Adam
Like
says.
an evil witch or something. The way you said it was so good.
Thank you. But yeah, and the story ends with Dell going to the market and meeting with Kara, and she gives her extra secret lesbian earring, and Adam has switched his from making money to community outreach because he's gonna die in a couple years and wants to still make a name for himself somewhere. And there is a sequel to this book, but apparently it doesn't have to do with Kara and Dell, and that's sad. But they're there. They're side characters, I guess. But the end. Thank you for listening to my spiel.
Ba-ba.
I have questions though. I guess yeah, that's the thing. I guess because we just discovered the ending, was the ending satisfying for you? Was like the kind of very calm, like this is just the way it ends, and Kara just goes back to living a very like I don't know, a calm life that she didn't have before. Was that satisfying to you? Would you have liked a more exciting conclusion, more death? I don't know. What do you think?
I kind of think it makes more sense when books um end calmly, because like even when you think about it, even like your movies and stuff, like sequels always start with the hero being bored in their dull life. But like after all the hullabaloo ends, you have to go back to normalcy. So it makes
Yeah.
the most sense. It's more realistic. And
I
it's
also
kind of
think,
nice
Yeah.
because it's like after all that, we're going to call it trauma, you kind of just want to like drink tea on the porch
Yeah.
and not fuck with anything.
yeah, I think I'd prefer this over the previous book we read where they had just like this insano, like, let's call multidimensional goddesses into this world ending.
Yeah.
I like this one better. That one was a little like, okay, suspension of disbelief is like being lost here. Um, I also think that a major theme of this book was like Kara like choosing how she goes out because in a lot of the
Mm.
other like worlds, she just gets like randomly murdered or
Yeah.
like randomly like taken out as a bystander. Whereas in this world, she actually gets to control like her fate.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, choosing her own death. Yeah. I didn't think about that. You're right. What do you think, Realm?
Um, thinking. Hmm. Um, kind of didn't it kind of like gloss. It wasn't like a very deep. Like I know it had deep and had like subtle meanings and undertones to it. It's just like maybe like the story of it was more like caught me more than the ending itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like I had a very strong just like through, kind of like gave you like a really good glimpse into like itself, and then kind of just like kept you at that level till like in the end it's kind of like, oh, it's subtle. So like it didn't really, I didn't really have a like a big impact to how it finished. Um, but I think it was set up well
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do
personally.
wish
So
that like we got some more into like what happened to a lot of the other characters we saw at the end because it kind
No.
of just like skips ahead.
I know. Yeah, it does. It skips ahead, and we don't really know.
You know,
Maybe
whatever
eventually.
happened to Esther and all these people.
Yeah, I think she's just like doing what she's doing. Esther, at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's okay anyway. But I don't know about like Nick and like
Mhm.
his relationship
And
with
like the whole
Adam.
like gun deal and everything.
Yeah,
Like did that even have to happen?
I
I
don't
guess. I don't
know.
know. I feel like there was a more roundabout way to get the like eye drop poison and without
Right.
having to give a like crazy guy
Yeah, I kind of
that
agree
shit.
with that too. But I don't know. Like, sorry, I'm clicking around for a second. There we
right,
go.
because it's like it I know there was a theme of like trying to be either like somebody that you're not or trying to fit in or like trying to survive and whether or not that survival mechanic like holds you, but it just like it in that particular aspect it did not feel like that had to be. I felt
Mhm.
like it was interesting. It was an interesting way to go about it with the eye drops, but like I
Mm-hmm.
don't
Was that
know,
the
like
only solution? I don't know.
Right.
right. I couldn't like empathize with it only because I'm like, well, it just came out of left field. I mean, certainly we're talking about it, so it created some sort of attention to it, but I don't know.
Right.
Just I would have I don't know, maybe tie in the story a bit more with how you want to do it. Some maybe karmic justice instead of just whatever they wanted to do with the eye drops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder if in the sequel that would happen more so because, like, Adam is in that book, I think. I don't think he's dead yet. So, I don't know. But yeah, I agree. This book was this is very obviously a debut novel. It's very ambitious and it's trying to, like, say everything it can. Because, like, you never know if you're going to get another book published. And so I do get that. A lot of debut novels are like that. But I still think she was mostly successful in saying what she wanted to say.
Oh yeah.
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 Oh yeah, no, it was really good. I think we maybe read a couple of things that have come out around like COVID time. Obviously, this book was well written before it happened, but it did come out in 2020, and so far, I think this is probably by a good margin. That's everybody like it's in its own category because not every book is this genre, but this has been really good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I don't know if you could all relate to this, but I just feel like to a certain extent Kara was relatable kind of to everyone because like not only does she not have a home, a place that she can like definitively call home because like she doesn't go back to her own like world anymore and she doesn't like that world anyway. Um like what home would mean for her, what community would mean for her, she doesn't really have that. And also like what her identity means for her, and she's like consistently like code switching based on who she is. I think like at some aspect of Kara is relatable to you as a reader. I think that's kind of neat. Sorry, my drainage is getting really intense right now.
Hey, go blow your nose, girl.
In my throat. No,
Yeah,
it's in my throat. It can't do anything.
Oh.
It's in the house.
You need a chutzpah. You need a
Yeah,
A neti
like
pot.
I'm sniffing, but it's not actually in my nose. I'm sorry.
Oh. Yeah, I do feel like Kara. I feel like a lot of the characters I really understood their characterization well, despite them having like alternate universe selves. The author did a really good job with the descriptions of the characters to help you understand like not only who they are but their relationships.
Mhm.
And I think the main character most of all, which is of course the most important one to get right.
Yeah, which is good. Sometimes that doesn't happen.
I do think that one of the issues with this book is that it was a little hard to tell the direction of the book in certain senses. Like, where exactly are we headed with this? Especially when she like goes into the other world and then she just like stays there for a while and it was like, oh, is this like the rest of the book now? And it's like, no, actually, we're gonna come back. And that was just like a little side quest kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Especially since I don't know, it doesn't like all she gets out of it in the very end is like the gun.
I know. I know, and like she does have some reflection, like because like this that Nick in World 175 is like nice to her, and just is like willing to help her, no strings
Yeah.
attached. So she does have a little bit of commentary, but not very much on that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this guy's actually nice to me. That's weird. Like, what would life have been like if like
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a little
Yeah.
frustrating for her, but I understand like she has a lot of trauma around this guy to
Yeah.
like be like, no, he's not the same guy though. He's not the
Yeah,
he
he's not
looks
the
like
same
your
guy, though.
abuser,
He just
but
looks
he's
like
not
the
the same
guy.
guy though.
Yeah. I know. And like honestly, like I don't think any of us could do that either. Like see somebody
Yeah,
that
that's
we
true.
know and like completely be like that's not the person I know because they look exactly like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your brain would be constantly psychologically crying, trying to fit in the gaps.
Right, and like and even and because she's gone through so much of between going through different years universes, knowing about the different thems in different worlds, like them acting how they are, like it's weird, like they're able to function in a way that most people think is like absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
It's like it's a very very valid reaction. So that I think that helps in like
Yeah.
the sort of the realism or
Mm-hmm.
sort of the relatable aspect to it.
And I kind of think it's kind of you don't get a lot of books like this where Kara was trying to seek like a victory over Adam, but like she doesn't really. Yeah, like instead of trying to like overthrow like the entire system, like her victory, like the thing that she wants to get is like very personal to her. Um and I'm wondering if like that's a very like I mean it was like a purposeful choice, I think, against like maybe like we can't overthrow like the systemic power on our own, and we can only like make small changes for ourselves, but those small changes, if we're all doing that, can then lead to change for everyone.
I'm
Maybe I'm
not sure
wrong,
if that
but
was
yeah.
what the book was going for, but maybe. I'm not saying
Yeah,
you're wrong
I don't
because
know.
I have not read the sequel. So, like,
Right,
the
I don't
sequel could
know.
totally go that direction.
That's
I
just
just
me.
don't know.
I'm just what's the word, speculating. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the book left room for you to speculate,
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
purposefully,
yeah, I think so too.
because like I just don't think the author, as well as they established like the base of it, I don't think they can answer every question, and I think it's actually a very good idea to just let it be a little open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do think one thing that I actually liked, even if it makes the book a little confusing, is that the book is not told like in chronological order. So sometimes you're like, which part of Kara am I seeing right now? Which part of her life are we seeing? Because I think she has such a traumatic past that she's probably constantly thinking about it. And maybe it would be more efficient if it was told in chronological order, but I don't think it would be as like impactful of a story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And sorry, this is an open conversation. You can disagree with me.
Was it not in chronological order? I feel like most of the events were in
Most of the events
chronological order.
are, but she often is like, there are a couple scenes where it opens up and you're not sure what point in time it's happening, and then you
It's
realize,
not
oh, this is the other world. This isn't. Yeah, it doesn't have. It happens mostly in the first half of the book.
What was I gonna say? I do think, like Faye was saying, this helps make the book's ending seem more realistic. It's not like every big bad
Yeah,
got defeated and we live happily ever after. It's like, no,
Yeah.
we
for sure.
like kind of took down or humbled the big evil guy, but he's not even dead. He's gonna die. At least we can like
Yeah,
have some solace in that.
yeah. At least we can have that. I don't even know. Like, I genuinely don't know what happens in the sequel either. So we'll see. I think it reads more like it's a murder mystery than like I don't know, a book that's talking about systemic racism.
Who killed Adam, whatever his last name was?
Yeah.
I wonder.
I don't even know what his last name is.
Someone put eye drops in his poison. I mean, poison in his eye drops.
Yeah. What else do I have? What did I say? This isn't like it is a pretty big theme, but it kind of like ends, like it stops being a huge theme. Like the physical toll of traversing that it takes on Kara's body, and now like everyone comments that she has these striations all over her body. I imagine they're quite noticeable. I don't know. Is it just like because like physical trauma and psychological trauma will inevitably happen if you're fighting or just living in a world with oppressive systems? Or is it like, I don't know, just like if you're, because the scientist said that like when you're world traveling, like you get injured because it's like the resistance of an object from a different world being forced into another. But I feel like I guess it is just like a, sorry, I'm like having a book report on my own. It is like, I guess like the theme, because like if one person trying to like get out of the systemic oppression, you're gonna get hit no matter what, one way or another. But in this way, it's like your job is the oppression.
Yeah. It's like well, I was thinking because if you take the person out of the equation, the general idea of sort of messing with unknown forces,
Yeah.
people mention a lot of that in like in science, that like there's like a really a there's a certain threshold to how far you could go before things don't become humane or illogical, and but it's in the pursuit of something
Mm-hmm.
greater. So like it could be, if it wasn't about the physical person, it could be like a metaphorical manifestation of like how far people went in the pursuit of what they want, like the big corporation, and creating literally multiverse travel just to get more money, get more influence, get more data. Just like like you could see how the world became so jaded, sort of by those scars,
Mm-hmm.
and of course from the events of the story itself. So you could see it like that. You could see it as purely physical, very very like surface level, or you could just make it like a very deep conversation about pursuing something that could be perhaps too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got no clue whether it was supposed to be something more symbolic or more just she got these scars to look cool.
It kind of
Uh,
felt like it should have been more commentary based.
I
Uh-huh.
think it is. But I don't know what it of is the
I
thing.
mean, it's just kind of one of those things where it's trying to speak to me. I know it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that was
Some sort
like
of symbolism here.
right.
Like that.
That was a nice thing, because if you contrast like modern science fiction to like classic science fiction, like you sort of see the imagery, or the thoughts, or the themes of like the time. So, and in some cases when we've had science fiction stuff, it's sort of been like thrown in your face, like it's a very very much systematical oppression, social identity,
Mm-hmm.
like thinking about common sense, or the idea of oneself. But like it kept itself a bit more abstract,
Yeah.
which was
Right.
nice, because like I said, you and I can have a conversation about one thing, it could be two different answers, and no one really gave no one really told us, oh no, this is the right answer. We're like, well, it wasn't presented like that, and I think that was nice, that it just it wasn't just so blatant.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think it could have been, but yeah, even if I think the story is a little messy at points, I like that the points that Micaiah Johnson is making they're not being hammered into your head so hard. You can kind of interpret them on your own, like you were saying. But it's obvious what the themes are, at least the systemic
Yeah.
oppression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
in
yeah.
general, the whole idea is very like clear,
yeah.
which I appreciate.
Yeah. Would you, like, if you had all this data on the Goose on other Earths, would you want to see what you were doing?
I'd like to know, but I
Yeah.
don't think I'd want to interfere.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. I don't think I'd ever want to go there. I would want to know what would have been in an alternate universe,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe making myself feel better or worse about myself and my own goings ons.
Break down that ego a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd be like, I don't know if I do or do not, but I'd be so curious.
Yeah, I think I would be against it first, and then I'd be like, no, I gotta know.
Right,
I
because
think
like you
I'd go
can
the other way around,
imagine.
or I'd be like, I gotta know, and then I'd literally be handed the like control and be like, I just can't.
Yeah.
Like I can't know and then not do anything about it. So like, what if I find
Mm,
out one of the other me's is being a fuck ass? I gotta go do something about that.
Yeah, but you can't.
yeah. Isn't
So
this just
you,
Rick and Morty?
No, I guess.
it does turn into Rick and
Less
Morty. Oh,
less pickles,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
for
true.
sure.
less pickles.
at least in this universe, less pickles.
Yeah, I
Maybe
guess you're
more
right.
pickles in another universe. No.
I think
True.
I think Johnson had a bit more to say in a nicer way, in my opinion, than Rick and Morty. But
And less about pickles.
less about pick. I mean, actually, Rick and Morty's kind of saying things too, but different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I have any other questions. Thanks for reading the book.
You're welcome for reading the book.
Yay.
Yeah, it was very nice. Like I said, some of these existential concepts is like stuff I always think about randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At like 1 or 2 a.m. when like when the space videos come up, or some like contrarian from like that writes a book like 100 years ago, like his thoughts on like the future. And I don't know, just like part of my degree was working in philosophy classes, so this sort of
Think tank is kind of your thing.
exactly, yeah. Not that I debate everybody every day, but it's just sort of it comes up more naturally.
Yeah.
So it was nice to kind of peek back through.
Yeah.
I love space, so that's a double win.
I mean, it's like kind of space. A multiple world space.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little worried just because it's a darker book than I had picked, and it's like more. There's like domestic violence and whatnot, but so
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I think it was fine.
Yeah.
They did it in a real respectful way.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's mostly all spoken about in the past.
Yeah.
Their past events that had happened. But it's also, I guess, for Kara and like the story that they were telling, it was like unfortunately like a realistic thing to have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be a positive story about perseverance and obstacles. It could be a neutral story about what ifs and how far can someone or something go. It could be a negative experience, about like the causes of going too far. I don't know. It could be it can be whatever you think. And like you said, you read the book twice, and perhaps you would have thought differently from the first time you read it till the second time, which is you talking to us now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Reading it again, I was just like, oh yeah. It was kind of the same thing. Like, it's a little messy, but overall, it's a really solid book, in my opinion, for what it is. And I think, yeah, the main thing, I said this already, but the main thing I forgot is that like Kara was a bigger problem than Dal was. But honestly, they're both just being the toxic Yuri.
Yeah.
They're both the causers of it.
I think this makes the count for like toxic versus wholesome Yuri like 4-1. I'm pretty sure. I think Legends of Latte is our only like hit for like, oh, with how cute. Everyone else is, fuck, I hate you, and then they bang. Like that's
Yeah.
but with issues,
Yeah.
You don't want to
Which
say
is,
you're
look,
right. Wait, no. The Princess and the Grilled Cheese was
You're right.
wholesome.
You're right. It was pretty wholesome.
It wasn't a very good book. It was wholesome.
oh, I forgot. I shoved that in the corner somewhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't very good, but
There wasn't enough grilled cheese. There was
There's no grilled
lesbians,
cheese.
but there wasn't enough grilled cheese in the grilled
Yeah.
cheese book.
I know.
Also, How to Become a Magical Girl wasn't toxic.
Not particularly.
It was Yuri though, right? By the end, I
Yeah,
think.
it was.
Yeah.
What'd she end up with again?
The like mentor girl.
Yeah, the mentor girl.
Okay.
Yeah. Or at least like it's implied that they're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just
We haven't
because
read much yaoi, but that's also like I don't know.
I
Just
have
a
one book
personal
that I might
thing
have us read
for me, at
eventually.
least.
That's yaoi, but I think I'll pick that later because I don't know. Just later.
I wasn't super into
Oh wait,
yaoi.
how would we define? I just remembered the book we read about the girl who liked math, in San Francisco.
Did you say math or meth?
Math.
Okay.
M-A-T-H.
Just confirming. That was it.
It was about the
Do you mean
in a
sourdough?
Chinese household.
Oh.
Last
Something.
night at the Telegraph Club.
Telegraph Club, yeah.
Yeah. How would you
I don't think they're too young. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that falls into young love, not toxic
Yeah.
fury. They weren't really against each other.
No, it was just like
It was
life
more
was
like her versus
complicated.
her family. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they just liked each other, and the environmental circumstances didn't like them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of any others. I'm not on purpose picking toxic fury, by the way. It's just what happens.
No, you know what? It started as a joke, I think. Because we did the duology, and then we were
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, but there's toxic lesbians, and then you're like, oh, I'm in, and then it just became a running, like, it just happens to all have it now.
Thing.
Listen. I was in for the lesbians, not for the toxic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Always in for the lesbians.
It's true. It's also just like a thing in like fantasy and sci-fi right now. It's being published.
Yeah.
Lesbians, and sometimes they're toxic. A lot of the time they're toxic.
Lesbians just got that appeal, you know? Like, not even kidding. Like, because, like, girls like lesbians.
Yeah.
Gays like lesbians, but also, like, straight guys like lesbians.
It's true.
More than like yaoi, you know?
It's true.
Which is,
Unless
I mean-
they're hockey players.
oh, yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I can't really speak much on yaoi because I definitely am biased as a lesbian. Like, I don't read a lot of yaoi stuff.
I get it. I mean, if I do, it just happens to be that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't seek it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think eventually I'll have us read The Dark Between the Stars, but that's like too similar of a title to this title book, so I'm not going to do it yet. That is like sometimes toxic yaoi, depending on what part of the book you're reading. And it was really good, but for now, not yet. no yaoi yet. As far as I know. I don't know. I guess if we are done discussing the book, we can give our ratings. Or we can keep discussing the book because we're going to do the ratings.
No, we can give our ratings.
Let me do the
you guys
thingy.
already.
Sure. I don't have Twitch up, so... Oh, wait, you took a photo of us, so I guess...
Where's my thingy? That's not the right thingy. Book club? There we go. There we go. So our star rating... So how book club works is we have 2 ratings. We have a star rating, which is our personal rating on what we read, and a slug rating, which is our recommendation rating on what we read. Both ratings are 0 out of 10. And we just give our final impressions of the book in the rating.
Yep.
Who would like to go
Love seeing a
first?
little S every time.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll go first. I think I would give this book like an 8 out of 10 star rating.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought some parts were a little confusing, but I thought it was written very well. I thought the ending was a little bit unsatisfying, but I also enjoyed that it was a more realistic take. I think I would like to see more from this author.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not necessarily the same world. It doesn't have to be the same world because I think this world was already explored quite well.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely more from them in the future. And yeah. As for recommendation, as for my slug rating, I think I would only have to give it like a 6 out of 10. I think this book may be a little harder to recommend to people just because of how confusing it can get. I would recommend it to my friends who are into sci-fi, if you're into like multiverse stuff. this may be a book for you. But if you're like not into sci-fi at all, I don't think you would enjoy this because it's pretty heavy sci-fi. And it kind of like assumes you know how like multiverse stuff works before you even go into it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I think I'm good to go
Sure. Go
next.
ahead.
Honestly, Toto and my ratings are probably I think like almost exactly the same. I would
Oh,
say
like never happens.
I know, I know, man. If you ever want to talk about solo leveling again, just let me know. But star rating, like this is, I'd say I probably bump it up. Like no, actually, I'll probably keep it. I don't want to go into this like 2.5. I'm only gonna get specific like that if I really love it or really don't like it. So I'm just gonna keep it simple. 8. Has a lot of themes that I enjoy. Um, to me, like part of how I like, you know, how I gone through my education and educating myself has just been sort of like thinking outwardly and then like bringing it in and in and in until like like you really get the concept. So even if something is abstract as multiverse theory or um feelings of like what is true, what is not, what is you, what is not, like as I will not have an answer for you as much as somebody else who understands it much, in a much lesser degree, but I will still give it sincere thought. And, that's just I won't do that for things like math or like certain sciences or certain subjects in history. I don't know. It's just like it makes sense to me, even if it isn't like the answer, and that's probably why I enjoy it more. And I liked the characters. So it wasn't a perfect book, but I really liked it. So and slug rating, there have been a couple of occasions where given a really low slug rating, but only because I know for a fact my friends or people I know would not read this type of book. It's not for them. It's not their demographic. It's not. They won't like it. They won't want to read it. So, yeah, I would say, you know, I would say like 5.5 or 6. Um, just because it wouldn't be for everybody. I would, I would do my best. I'd like put my hands out like that crazy person on a History Channel, like aliens. Like I'd be like, oh my god, but it's like this. And I'd say probably half the people, a little more than half, would be like, oh, okay, I see, because they actually picked up a book before. But some people were just like, that's too much. So I guess
Yeah.
I understand my reading demographic for like my friends' preferences. So I'm just not gonna assume everybody will read it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that paint is still wet. So sorry. Anyway,
You're good.
put my finger in paint.
Oh no.
It's fine. So for my star rating, personally, like I really liked it. I think I've talked about it before, where like on my own, I mostly just consume. I like doom scroll romance and smut. So like anything else I read is like finally eating a salad after eating a plethora of chips.
It's a
So I'm
great
just kind of
analogy.
excited for literally anything else. Um, Even if it's a little toxic. So, uh, I I think my personal rating, I'll give it like a 7
Mm-hmm.
because I liked it. It was fun. It was chill. I don't know. There wasn't like anything so wrong with it that I hated it, but I'm also not gonna like run around the world tell everybody about it. Um, so that being said, I do think my friends would read it though. So I'm gonna give it a an 8 of a would I recommend it because I would recommend it and then my friends would go read it. So yeah.
That's fair. I think I'm actually gonna rate it an 8 as out of 10 for my star rating as well. If you had asked me a couple years ago, it probably would have been like a 6 or a 7. But on reread, I was like, no, actually, this is really solid. And compared to some of the things that we've read for book club and just like, and I read it a lot in general. It's like actually this is really saying something, whereas a lot of books or not. I guess, I don't know. I really did enjoy this book. It is saying a whole lot in only like 300 pages. I kind of wish it was a little bit longer to really get into details on the world that we didn't get to see. Because I have a lot of questions about how the world traversing works and how the world is like Mad Max and also like hyper cyberpunk, not cyberpunk, but like hyper technologically advanced on the other side. But I think the character study that is Kara is extremely well written, and it makes for a very good read. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for me. Would I recommend it to other people? My slug rating, I kind of have 2 ratings. If it's just like an average person, it's probably like a 5 or a 6, depending. Like if somebody on the street asked me for a book recommendation, it wouldn't be this book. But I will say, I think like the general, if I'm making like a post as someone who posts about books, I probably would. It's like an 8 on like a, I would recommend it to people who are seeking book recommendations, like people that are actively reading. But to the average person, no, you can have Legends and Lattes instead. Because I think if you're already reading books, this book makes you think, and I think you'll like it. But if you're just trying to read like something on the airplane, this probably isn't the book for you. But it says a lot, and I appreciate any book that's written by a Black woman that's a sci-fi novel. I don't know. I always do. I always like them. So, yay. I just consume them very quickly, and I don't think that'll ever change, because I think the themes that they talk about, like it's always about like overcoming exploitation and overcoming systemic racism and whatnot. It's always prevalent, and I don't think that was gonna change, unfortunately, maybe ever. So I don't know, keep writing these kinds of books. They're great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Johnson. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because I get what you're all saying. Like, I don't know, people aren't gonna get it if they don't read. I agree, but I also think there's a good chunk of readers that are gonna get it. So yeah, I don't know. And you all got it.
Yeah, I think the like message is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like the multidimensional sci-fi thing. I know for a lot of like lay people,
Yeah.
it's gonna like go.
My other thought is that like Marvel is so popular right now, maybe they will get it.
That's true. Maybe.
Maybe. But they have to be like, they're already like sci-fi, if that's the
Yeah.
case, you know? So
I'm just thinking of like, I don't know. I guess my teacher friends who are like not
Right.
into like fantasy or sci-fi at all, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. My younger sister won't even like for a long time wouldn't touch anything with fantasy, even if I like slapped a romantasy
Dang.
label on it and say, "Hey, here, try it. It's like 200 pages." Like, no, not at all. I'm like, come on, you gotta like broaden your horizons. Like, I'm always poking to do a little better. So like, I would like other people too.
I'm glad none of us are like that,
Yeah.
obviously, because like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would just make things difficult, wouldn't it?
like what would you
Would.
read if you don't read any like fiction, nonfiction?
Yeah. Oh yeah, a lot of people
For
do
some of
read
my friends, it's just
nonfiction.
Colleen Hoover.
Oh,
Yeah.
not
Just
Colleen
really-
Hoover.
Exactly, that's the issue. That's just like a lot of you just.
I mean, actually,
like
that's
the
fine if you
yeah.
read it. I just
Not-
think you should.
I'm
read
not. Do better,
not
man.
just
It's actually not fine if you read it, and we're judging you.
Okay, never mind. We're judging you. Ugh. I mean, you should just read Delilah Green. What the heck is that book? If you have to read Colleen Hoover style books, what the heck is that book called? Delilah Green Doesn't Care. Yeah, read that one. It has toxic Yuri. It's a
Oh my
contemporary romance. It's actually not very toxic. It's a contemporary romance. That's Yuri. And you might like Delilah. I didn't like her. I thought she was annoying. But yeah. I guess for April we can meet again if you'd like. That's the plan, right?
Yeah.
No, actually, we're all breaking up.
No.
Yeah, this is the
No.
tour, and then
Just can't
2 weeks
stay
later there's a
anymore.
comeback.
Our friendship is like my favorite thing about VTubing.
I know. We're kidding. We love you.
Yay.
When it's honest or some shit, I don't know.
I have 2 ideas One is the previous book that I pitched, but we went with this one instead, which is Brigands and Bread Knives by Travis Baldree. It is the third book in the Legends and Latte series. It covers
More Yuri.
Yeah, more Yuri.
More
It's
lattes.
a new adventure featuring the fan favorite foul-mouthed bookseller Fern, who is in like the prequel. I guess she's moved to the same city that Viv, that's her name, right? Lives in, and like is setting up a library.
Sequel
Or
instead
not
of
a
a
library.
prequel this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, this one's a sequel, not a prequel.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess
Interesting.
she gets sent on a crazy adventure after like not
Okay.
realizing she doesn't quite fit in. Or this one is a novella, so it's only like 100-ish pages. We also have The River Has Roots by Amal El-Motar. This is also fantasy, and it is Amal El-Motar is like the other author, like the author of the Blue character in oh god, we were just talking about it. This Is How You Lose the Time War.
Mm,
And it's a story about two sisters who cannot be separated even in death as they follow the river Liss to the small town of Thistleford on the edge of Fairy. And it's about Fae. it's about Fae. I look at Fae.
Faye.
Yeah. It's about Fae and like the language that Fae speak in, because sometimes they have like they need to be spoken to a certain way in order to like for them to do things for you. It's hard to describe. We would just have to like read it to understand. But that one's a novella if we'd rather do something lighter. And not that Brigands and Bread Knives is long, it's about the same length as this book that we just read.
I'm good to flip a coin about it, personally.
Okay.
Both sound kind of fun.
Yeah.
I prefer reading the book from the author I know I enjoy.
Okay.
But that,
Travis Baldree?
yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
I'm good. I'm good for that. It might be a good. I know both materials are lighter than our current one. Not that it was crazy.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
heavy,
Brigands and Bread Knives
but-
is going to be much lighter than yeah.
Yeah, perhaps it'll be like a nice like palate cleanser.
Not that the Dead Cattail Assassins was dark, but it was weird.
No,
tried to
it
be
just gave me
dark.
like Dishonored level dark.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
shit
Edgy
happens.
dark.
It's dreary, but like you can talk to people. Just
Yeah. Okay, then in April, I'll discuss the date after stream. We'll read Brigands and Bread Knives by Travis Baldree, which is exciting. I think it'll be fun. And I actually just looked into it. Micaiah Johnson is releasing a book this year that is not related to this Space Between Worlds, but it's a horror book. So if you're interested, Toto, now you know. It's called The Unhaunting.
I don't know, but it's horror.
I know,
I
it's
guess I'm
horror.
okay with horror books, not so much horror games.
Yeah,
Horror
I
books.
found that too. I can't watch horror movies, but I can read horror books.
I think the problem I have is like I read a horror book and I'm like, where's the feeling of fear? I don't have it.
Yeah, they tend
I
to not
kind of
be
just think
scary.
you're dumb.
Yeah. Oh yeah. One of the worst books I ever read was like, I'm a really scary book. You'll be shaking in your boots. And I was like, this is the most boring thing I've ever read.
Man, I am barefoot and not shaking.
Yeah. The most boring thing ever. Because like
I am barefoot with a fan on
a
and
found
not
footage
shaking.
book just doesn't work.
But have you read
No.
Mandor Car Hook Hand? That's a scary.
Mandor Car Hook Hand?
You know what? You're right. Good argument. I have read it. That one's chilling.
I'll read it to you off stream. It's pretty short.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here. I'm happy to discuss this book. Also, I'm happy that like I don't know why like the not as good book, the Dead Cattail Assassins made me think of this book, which I'm glad we all liked a lot more.
I just think like they both started really good, and then just quickly diverged into like either one's floating, and you're like, all right, try to catch the story, catch bits and pieces, or you're like, no, you're settled, you're like ready to, sort of sip whatever they're trying to give you. I don't know. I just like, you're right. They some similarities. It's just a matter of like how they prepared the rest
I mean,
for you to enjoy.
the whole point was the multiverse travel, and the author didn't like shoehorn multiverse travel like at the very end of the book, which is nice.
Yeah.
looking for someone to raid now. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. I haven't streamed in like 2 weeks, so thank you for being here on my re-debut. It's not a debut. My re-stream.
Just think of it as a book club season opening.
Yeah, season
Or season
opening.
premiere or something.
Yeah, book club season premiere.
Ba, 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 ba.
Thanks for joining us for the book club season premiere.
Yes. The premiere of VTuber Book Club, the biggest book club.
Uh-huh.
The biggest VTuber book club.
In the world.
In the
Like and
world.
subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
If you have any book suggestions for what you'd like us to read next, let us know. If you've read this book, let us know what you thought.
Yeah.
And you can also join us for Manga Club.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For,
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
more JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yes, on
March 3.
March 31st, we are reading more JoJo's. We are reading. Oh my gosh, hold on 1 second. Thank you so much for reminding me.
Like chapter 30 to like 60 or 70 or something.
Chapter 32 through 69. Nice.
Nice.
Thank you. Oh, and also, thank you. Thanks, Chaos. I was gonna shout out my friends, but you already did it. Thank you.
Oh, but Faye's not on there.
Where did
It's
Faye
just-
go? I'll just
It's
leave
okay.
you.
Don't worry about me.
Oh, we
no,
got
it's
you. We got you.
Feyble.
I think Faye must
Sure,
have gotten
yeah,
lost
got
my
it.
stream, bro.
No, I think you just forgot to update it from last time when we had Manga Club. It's still a Manga
That's
Club
fair.
one.
Oh, yeah.
Faye
What?
didn't join us for that one.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh.
I forgot to update it. Because,
That's
yeah,
all right.
Dawn's not there either. Whoops.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right.
I
That's
really
a
need Dawn to
different
show
series.
up. I haven't talked to them in a while.
They're around. They're streaming a lot more now.
Step the fuck up.
Yeah. I guess we can raid JoJo. Dr. JoJo.
Oh, Interesting.
Like, sure, why not? It's like, who's streaming
This
today?
might go great. Nice. Well, final chapter too.
Yeah, final chapter. It'll be exciting. All right, let's do book club raid. Book club raid. If you don't have emotes, no worries. Purple hearts work too.
We know you're wiggling in your hearts.
Yeah. Go follow my friends. Because they stream when I'm not streaming. I will probably be back Thursday though. I'm probably just gonna play Animal Crossing though. So feel free to hang out if you want. And yeah, I'll be back on the 31st for JoJo's too. Join us for JoJo's. And then sometime in April for Brigands and Bread Knives. Alright.
Yeah.
I will start this stream. Oh, Twitch. Why? Oh, no. Something happened when I hit the raid button.
Scuff is the
Okay,
name of
there
the
we go.
game.
It's really scary.
It's gotta believe.
Oh, right. I'm gonna read Mandor Car Hook Hand.
Oh no. Alright. Let's go. Alright. Good night, every sluggy.
Good
Good
night.
Thanks for
night.
joining.
Good
Good night.
Bye.